unable to gather all of them beneath her wings. So the little ones were forced to wander around. On waking, Francis began to reflect on that dream. And suddenly the Holy Spirit made him understand that the hen symbolized himself. I am that hen, he told himself, because I am small of stature and dark in complexion. And I must be like a dove to fly toward heaven with feathers of virtue. The Lord in his mercy has given me and will give me many sons, but I am unable to protect them with my strength alone. I must entrust them to the Holy Church, who will protect and guide them under the shadow of her wings. The dream that Francis has is the dream of his own insufficiency, the dream of his own inability, the dream of what he lacks. It's the dream of need. And it is need which moves Francis toward connection. It is his lack of self-sufficiency that first moves him into relationship with Cardinal Ugolino, and through Ugolino with the Roman Church. Because he's this small black hen who can't cover all of her chicks. An image, of course, meant to recall to us Jesus looking at Jerusalem. Francis, looking at the friars, realizes that he cannot cover the friars with his wings. He needs a much bigger bird. And the bird that he selects, of course, is the bird of the Roman Church. Notice, however, that the dream is no longer masculine in gender, but feminine. No longer strong and great and powerful, but weak, insufficient. This is a change in the interior disposition of Francis, who begins with a highly masculine and aggressive image, and during the course of his conversion comes to a feminine image that also reflects for him connection with others. Another, and perhaps even more shocking dream, is recounted in the Anonymous of Perugia, and it's picked up hesitantly by Thomas of Celano with deep embarrassment in the Remembrance, the second Celano. Francis, turning to prayer, begged God with a pure heart that in his unspeakable mercy he would give him a sign. Persevering in prayer, with his soul absorbed in God, the Lord spoke to him in this way. In the realm of a great sovereign, there was a woman who was very poor, but beautiful, pleasing in the eyes of the king, and she gave him many sons. One day the woman began to reflect and said to herself, "What shall I do? For I am a poor woman, and have so many sons, and I possess nothing on which they can live." While she was thinking these things, which gave a sad look to her face, behold, the king appeared, and asked her, "What is troubling you, that I see you so worried and sad?" And she spoke about the anxieties that troubled her. But the king comforted her. "Do not be afraid because of your great poverty, nor be troubled for the sons you now have and for those who will come in the future. I have many dependents in my palace, and all have abundant food. I will certainly not allow my sons to perish of hunger. I will be even more generous with them, The man of God, Francis, understood immediately that that poor woman represented himself. And that made him even stronger in his proposal to live in holy poverty. We know that this is an authentic logion or saying of Francis because it's actually picked up by an English cleric in Paris whose name is Odo of Caraton, who quotes this during Francis's lifetime as a sermon. So the story had made its way around. And in one version of it, Francis in the first person says, "I am that woman." The image, once again, is someone who is beautiful, but who does not have the resources to care for her young. It's very similar to the story of the hen. This notion of anxiety, and anxiety about the future, unable to care for the many needs of this community, this family, entrusted to her care. This makes the woman nervous and sad. This kind of care and concern, what we might call worldly care, is alleviated only by the promise of the king. And in another version of this story, it is looking at these sons of the poor woman that the king sees, of course, his own image and likeness in them. He recognizes them as his sons. Francis presents himself in two ways then, through these dreams, as a female character who is playing out a role of caring for a large group of offspring, which he is not able to provide for, and therefore is moved outward to ask for the help of the king, or the help of this larger bird of the Roman Church in the vision of the hen. In both cases, Francis is expressing an identity that he has inside in a way that portrays need, inability, want, and dependence. He looks to someone, or to someone beyond himself, in order to entrust his need and those of his brothers, whether sons of the poor woman or chicks of the little black hen, in order to entrust them to someone else. This I would call the genius of mendicancy. What Francis discovers, and we are told through the operation of the Holy Spirit, he understands this. Through these dreams, that need or poverty or insufficiency, whatever we want to call it, does not need to lead to isolation or discouragement, but rather, with frank acknowledgement and humility, leads to interdependence, the discovery of gifts, the receiving of generosity in the form of alms or care. This genius of mendicancy is the great inspiration that Francis receives. If we talk about a model, as Larry spoke about these models of payment, of reward, of recognizing accomplishment, we may say that Francis, through these dreams of insufficiency, points out to us what we might call a counterintuitive economy. He is not able to provide for the needs either of himself or his brothers. He must then be mendicant. He must discover his brother's needs and set out to fulfill them by asking, as he says in the earlier rule, chapter